Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. I make it just a few minutes past 7:30 UAE time, so I think it's a good time to start. Firstly, I hope you can all see me okay and you can hear me. Please do just send me a message. Tell me if you can hear me okay. Thank you, Raj. Good. Firstly, welcome. As I say, welcome and an introduction to myself. I'm Professor Tim Campbell. I'll be taking the webinar tonight. I'm a visiting Professor of International Management at the University of at the Northampton Business School at the University of Northampton, and also I'm the Academic Director of Stafford as well. So I'll talk a little bit more about those roles as we go through. But of course, particularly about my role as a Professor of International Management at Northampton, because it means I teach on the MBA course. In fact, I teach on the very first module, and we'll see you, for those of you who join, which will be all of you, I hope, we'll see you there. So let's get going. So thanks to all I've seen, Raj, Glenn, Michael, and Selma. Thank you to all of you. I can see that you can hear me okay. What we're going to do tonight in our structure, no more than 20 minutes, I'm going to give you a presentation of the Northampton MBA program. And I'm going to tell you all the general bits about the program coming from somebody who has, say, features on it. Then I've got a current student with me, Mike, who's going to answer some questions about what it's like to be a student on the Northampton MBA program. He's almost finished. He's in the business research project stage or the dissertation stage. Then after that, which I hope will take no more than 30 minutes, there'll be questions open to anyone who wants to ask. And at the bottom of this slide, I'm very excited about this. Our marketing team at Stafford have given $2,000 from the Stafford Scholarship Fund. And at the end of the presentation, they're going to pick a name of somebody who's attended the presentation tonight and who's going on to do the full MBA course. And they're going to give $2,000 off. That is exciting. So I get to announce that later. So that's our structure. Our first slide I want to talk about is Stafford, because you would have come to this presentation tonight, or you would have been informed about it, because you've already been in contact with the organisation, us at Stafford. And I just want to tell you a little about what we do and how we partner with the university. Now, as Stafford, we've been around for more than 20 years, and we're the very first provider of distance learning education in the Middle East. And we're currently the resource centre for not just the University of Nottingham, but other universities as well, 5 of them. And we have programs from certificates to doctorates. But what our role is we market and recruit the students. We tell them all about the program. We get them on into the classroom. And then when they're in the classroom, we offer academic support and we offer administrative support throughout the program as well. And of course, the reason for this is it's very difficult for UK universities to do that effectively over here from a distance. So that's why they partner with us to help them out with that. But what is really important to remember is that you're entirely a student of the university. We're just helping the university out. When you join the program, you're a student of Northampton. Your degree, of course, comes from Northampton. There's no mention of Stafford. The degree is exactly the same as an on-campus student. So just to be clear about the different roles and how Stafford fits in with Northampton. So Northampton itself, I thought I'd start with, well, where is Northampton? It's in the UK. It's in England. I've put a big arrow there pointing to it. You won't be able to see the actual name of it there, but at least you get an idea of where it is in England. I can tell you it's about an hour and a half north of London on the train. It's a lovely city. It's a lovely town, Northampton. It's a very old town. There's been settlements there for around 5,000 years. It regularly appears in English history. It's a very historical town. And I also say to my students as well, as a graduate of it, when you actually finish your MBA program, you are, of course, invited to the graduation ceremony in Northampton. And I really do encourage students to go because I think it's really important to see the town, to see the campus. And it's a very nice part of England. So that's where Northampton is, just north of London in England. The University of Northampton, then, that is just on the outskirts of Northampton, on a big campus. It has about 14,000 students, the university as a whole. The business school has about 4,000 students. And it's they're just building a new campus. I mentioned they have a rural campus just on the outside. At the moment, they're just building a new campus right in the middle of Northampton. It's costing $500 million US, and they're going to move there in 2018. There's an awful lot of investment going into Northampton at the moment. So that's the university. I've just pulled out some highlights of it here on this slide. If I just start with that one just down at the bottom there, that it's been awarded its Royal Charter. A bit of history about where the University of Northampton came from. There's been education institutions in Northampton for over 800 years, so an awfully long time. But in its modern form, the university it came out of what was called the Northampton Technical College, and that was formed about 90 years ago. And then over the years, it became a fully fledged university and was awarded its Royal Charter in 2005. The Royal Charter means it is a recognised UK university with degree awarding powers. You cannot be a UK university without, or call yourself a UK university without the Royal Charter. So Northampton, of course, has that. And as I've just mentioned, it's investing more and more on campus and globally around the world. So some highlights of sort of the university. And here I'll go back to the top. The business school has been nominated for the Times Higher Education Business School of the Year for 2013, 2014, and 2015. So 3 years in a row, which is unprecedented. There's more than 120 business schools in the UK. Only 6 of them can be nominated as Outstanding Business School of the Year, and Northampton's done it for the last 3 years. So they're proud of that achievement. It's also England's #1 university for employability. What that means, or it's recently held this accolade. What that means is it has been the university that's had that, and percentage-wise, how many graduates have found, how many people who graduate then find work has been the highest in the country. That's what the measure of employability is. And it's quite recently held that accolade. And it's also been #1 university in the UK for value-added education. That's a measure of teaching effectiveness. So very good teaching at the university. And my last little round circle there is it's globally recognized. Now, for us, of course, and in a world of globalization, this is important. The MBA cohorts are not just taught in Northampton and obviously here in the UAE. They're also taught in London, in Kuala Lumpur, in Singapore, in Vietnam, in New Zealand, and in a lot of other places that I can't remember offhand. But the point being is this program is now offered around the world. So there are now students and alumni of Northampton and all over the world. And that means it's become a globally recognized university and brand. All right, that's the university and the business school. What we're really here to talk about, though, of course, is this MBA program. And here it is. I'll start with the modules here. The structure of the MBA is that it has 8 modules. Critical issues in business, organizational behavior, financial decision-making, which also includes accounting, operations and supply, leadership, strategy, marketing, and then the business research project, which is like a dissertation. So the structure of the program actually follows quite a traditional route. the MBA program itself, no matter which MBA you choose, no matter which university, the actual idea of it is very similar. An MBA is designed to improve managers, the skills of managers. And managers from any industry, from any company, big, small, but somewhere in between, and a charity and a governmental organization or in a private firm, the program is designed to improve managers in any of these realms. So you'll find in any MBA program, you'll study the core subjects: finance, people management, operations, strategy, marketing. The idea is to be a better manager wherever you are. You have to understand those functions. So the Northampton program follows that same ethos, that same idea, but then it has a more up-to-date edge with modules such as critical issues in business, which deals with sustainability and ethics, risk and security, entrepreneurship, these types of things. It has a whole module on leadership. It talks about innovation. So it has your usual MBA foundation, but then brings it all up to date into the world we live in today. Looking at the timetable. Oh, before I look at the timetable, this is important, and this is interesting because this is the first time that we're being able to offer this. The program I've just shown you is the General MBA. Northampton is now also able to offer an MBA program with CIPS accreditation. Now, CIPS means the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. Now, for those of you who don't work in this field or haven't come across it, basically it's talking about the buyers in the organization, the people who actually buy the goods and services to make the business run. So they might buy raw materials, they might buy advertising, marketing, IT services, whatever it might be. So they procure the stuff, they buy it, and they manage the supply chain. A very important part of businesses in its own right, and a very important industry. So doing this MBA program, CIPS, the Chartered Institute for Procurement and Supply, has accredited it, and it's only one of two MBA programs in the world with this accreditation. With it, I'll just jump one point. I'll tell you what you need to do in a moment, but just go down to the point about what it permits students to do. Once you complete the MBA with this accreditation, you can then apply for chartered status of CIPS. You've probably heard of chartered accountants. Well, this is the equivalent for procurement and supply people. So it's a very high level qualification, the highest they have. And it's really designed, people who become chartered CIPS people are the sort of people who will lead procurement teams, who will be at the board level on organizations and talking about this sort of thing. So we're really pleased to have this. The transcript itself will state the CIPS accreditation. So my point down here is, who will this appeal to? If you're thinking about this, it will appeal to you if you already work in that sort of a position. If you're in procurement, supply chain management, then it's going to appeal to you because getting that chartered status will make you at the highest level of your field. But I think it will also appeal to people, or those of you who actually don't work as a buyer or as procurement or supply chain. You might work as an accountant or something in finance or marketing, but you want to work in this industry or in an organization in this industry. Then you can imagine if you show them your MBA with the CIPS stamp on it, that's going to set you out from the crowd. So these are the people who I think are really going to be interested in this, and we're very pleased to have it. Now I'm just going to go back to this point here. What do you have to do differently to get the MBA with CIPS accreditation? It's actually very similar to the General MBA program, and I'm going to go back to it here. There's just one module difference. The Managing Operations and Supply Chain module. Instead of doing that, you'll do another module called Applied Logistics, Procurement and Supply. So there's only one module difference. So the other modules, you're with the General MBA cohort. It's just for that one, we'll separate you out. The other condition is the final project you do. That has to be in the procurement and supply chain area. Okay, so there are two MBA degrees, a General MBA and our MBA with SIPS accreditation. Here's the timetable I was talking about. Now, I realize my font's a bit small on this, but I will send these slides around to you after the presentation, so you'll be able to have a closer look and blow it up. But the first workshop, although we call it an October intake, the first workshop is actually November. We call it October simply because that's where we have to have all the applications and everything done for. But the first workshop, when the course actually starts, is the 12th, 13th and 14th of November. That's the only workshop where you do a Thursday, Friday and a Saturday, because there's just that much more to go through for that first workshop. After that, when you come to your next workshop, which in this case is in February, 22nd and 23rd of February, and for the rest of your workshops, it's a Friday and a Saturday. So the timetable works, you're doing a module, then about 10 weeks later, you come and do your next until you finish the whole program within 18 months later. Just a few other things I want to mention about the program. Special course features. In addition to your MBA degree, you automatically get a Chartered Management Institute Level 7 diploma. The Chartered Management Institute, particularly us who are, or those of you who are familiar with the UK, will know that that is the leading management organisation in the UK. And you will get the Level 7 diploma as well, automatically on completion of the MBA. You also get affiliate membership throughout your program of studies up to 12 months afterwards. What that means is right from the start of the program, you will have access to their materials, to their website, which has great networking opportunities. It has lots of information. It has research studies and all of this type of thing. So you have access to all of its resources from the start of your program. The other things that are interesting, and I think you should certainly consider with this, is that there's an MBA European business event where each year, somewhere in Europe, you can join up with other people for other intakes and have a group of yourselves from the UAE intake, I hope, who will go on a business event and visit various organisations. And there's also two other certifications that you can get. There's the Chartered Institute of Marketing certificate, and there's the Prince 2 Foundation and Practitioner Award. That's a project management award. Both of those, you do the materials, or the materials are provided as part of the course. The marketing, particularly in the marketing module, the Prince 2, particularly in the operations module. And there's also extra online materials that are provided. So basically, you're prepared for both of these, and then when you're ready, you need to do an assessment with the Chartered Institute of Marketing and with the Prince 2. So there is an extra assessment that you need to do with these bodies, but what we do is prepare you for these, give you all the materials you need to actually complete those assessments. So lots of extras. I thought I'd quickly just say what happens in workshops, because it's something I often get asked. What are we actually going to do when we get there? Now, it depends on the subject, it depends on the professor, but essentially this is what we aim to do in the workshop, in the 2 days that we have with you. Introduce key concepts, use short case studies, exercises, business games, whatever. We demonstrate where you find resources, books and articles, things that will help you to complete the assignment. And then in the workshop, we also spend time, of course, telling you exactly what we want you to do to complete the assignment, so that once you've finished the workshop, you know exactly what you have to do for you to hand in that assessment when it's due later on, before the next module starts. And also you have access to your tutors after the workshops as well. They'll fly back to Northampton, but you'll still have access via email, via Nile, which is what we call the virtual learning environment, which is also where we post lecture slides and all sorts of other materials. So you still have that access even when they've gone. But the workshops themselves, these are what we aim to do. And there's a nice statistic there. Over the past year, we've had 31 Northampton MBA workshops in the UAE with an overall student satisfaction of 95%. So the workshops really are well received and the teaching is good. Assessment. No exams, you'll be happy to know. Most people are happy to know that there aren't exams on this. Northampton prefers assessment because they believe exams deal more about what you remember for those 2 hours when you actually write the exam. Assessments get you more to think about things and create an actual assessment and spend more time on it. So they prefer those types of assessments rather than exams. And when I say assessments, they might be an essay, a report, a case study. The finance module has a short multiple choice quiz. So, various forms of assessment, but no formal exam. And then your business research project is at about 15,000 words, what you do at the end. Just the last few things from me. There's lots of support on the program. There's 2 program leaders. The international program leader is the program leader from Northampton. The local program leader is the one who looks after you guys, which is myself. And then you have the support of each module tutor, who is an expert in their subject. Then administration, again, you have the Northampton administration, and locally. The Northampton Integrated Learning Environment, I just mentioned before, what we call NILE. That's a website which each module has, where we post assignments and lecture slides, and there's videos, video lectures, and all sorts of different things that we post on there. And the university has a very extensive online library as well, with tens of thousands of journal articles and e-books and everything you need to be able to research for your assignments and studies. So this is just my last slide, really. Why I believe, as a teacher on the program, why I think it's what I like about it. I meant to mention right at the start that I've taught on, apart from Northampton, I've been teaching on MBA programs for more than a decade, and I've taught on, I've lost count, probably 10 or 11 different universities' MBA programs and 10 or 11 different countries. So I do have a lot of experience with other MBA programs as well. So this slide is just more about what I like about the Northampton program. The price I'll talk about in a moment, but I think for a module, for a program that is actually taught by fly-in faculty, I think I do believe the price is competitive. I like the duration. It's 18 months. I've been involved on MBA programs that have been 2.5 years, some of them 3 years. And when it gets that long, I find students just lose momentum. It just becomes too long. I think 18 months is just about right. People can keep going for that period of time. And I think with 7 2-day weekends, or I should say 1 3-day weekend and 6 2-day weekends, it's easy to fit in with existing commitments. Everyone on the program, everyone will all have family commitments and work commitments, etc. So it's designed to fit around those things. I like the mixture between Northampton and local academic tutors and support. I think that works well. The no exams is a plus for most students. It also strongly emphasizes job learning, vocational learning, more about the practical aspects of management. We don't forget about theories, but some MBA programs are very theoretical. They really talk about the theory of management that may or may not apply in the real world. Northampton's more focused on the practical stuff than the real world stuff. And as I put on the slide here, I think that is attractive to employers because they really do look for this practical knowledge. And I think the special features are good as well, which I mentioned. Okay, price. $18,990, which I think for this type of program, this quality with fly-in faculty, I think is a very good price, which is then broken down into the different payments. How did I do for time? A little bit over 20 minutes, but not too bad, I don't think. I hope. What I'd like to do next, just before I let anyone who wants to ask a question, I said I've got a current student joining us at the moment, and I do. I've got Mike joining me. I'm going to do my very best to see if I can communicate with Mike and get his video to work.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I have my volume down. Mike, thanks very much for joining us.
No worries.
Mike is he's in his very final stages of the MBA, just finishing his dissertation. And I'd like just to ask you a couple of questions, Mike, just about the experience of being on the MBA.
Sure.
And my very first question is, just tell me why you wanted to do an MBA and why Northampton?
I had been mulling over doing an MBA for about 2 years before I started. I'm originally from the food and beverage industry of 12 years, and I felt that I needed to bridge careers. And hotels, restaurants, it's quite limited. I mean, you can go into customer service, service industries, but it's hard to bridge right across to something quite different. So this is the main reason why I wanted to do my MBA. There's the other factor that I am a bit of an entrepreneur by heart. So what I wanted was a strong degree behind me to I guess it's more credibility as well. You want your investors to be confident in you, and whether that's the bank or private investors, for your business concepts that you come up with. So there's that as well. And actually, one more point. I did have 3 points for this, why I did it, and that's that I will eventually move back to Canada, and Toronto is one of the shall we say, the most educated populations in North America for C. And the standard over there is the bachelor degree. So I felt going back with a master degree should put me ahead of everybody else, or most people.
Very good, excellent. Now, what attracted you? Must have had lots of choices. What attracted you to the Northampton program?
Yeah, that's right. I did look around a bit. I went to, there's quite a few agents and also contacting universities directly. But the key points for why I chose Northampton, for example, over other Stafford universities like Leicester, is what you mentioned before. The time frame of 18 months is very luring for somebody that's working or has a lot going on in their life, and they don't really have too much time, to spend, as in months and months and months to put towards this. You want to get it through as quick as you can, but with high quality as well. There's that. There's a few other smaller points which I found important. Was the payment program. I thought that was good. That worked well into my personal life and financial life. I thought, instead of being asked for it all up front, I got to pay it. I think it was every month or every 2 months, I believe it was. Is that right, Tim? Every 2 months?
It's every month, but if you want to pay every 2 months, I'm sure it's fine.
No, I forget now because I haven't made a payment for a while because I'm near the end. But there's that, and I made another note here. The fact, for example, if I'm going to compare Leicester to Northampton, because that was my final 2 universities I was looking at. Leicester had a major exam at the end, and I wasn't so interested in that. What I wanted to learn was every module, as well as all the assignments involved. I wanted to learn them thoroughly from home by doing these types of research assignments and essays and reports. It helps you learn a heck of a lot more about particular topics, and especially if you have interest in it, it allows you to do a lot more research as well. I've downloaded maybe thousands by now, but of academic articles that I can always refer back to later on as well. So I enjoy the research aspect. I think that's good, and it's good for learning. And that's the main reasons why I did this.
Excellent. Just one more. I'm sure, again, the question I always get asked, how many hours do you spend studying? How much effort does it take?
Well, when you start doing, when you go into the cohort, if you guys do choose to, and I think you should, it's a good idea. Once you get in there, you'll realize when you start to do your seminars, you get to meet people and you make friends within your cohort. So obviously, we discuss amongst ourselves, the people that, you decide to communicate with after this. And it all depends on the individual. For me, I think some people were capable of putting in, let's say, 8 hours to 10 hours a week. Then there's other people that might be more interested in doing further research because they have time. They might put in 15. For me, I was about 12 to 14 hours a week into each assignment. So you're looking at assignments are about a month long. So you're looking at quite a few. I mean, almost 60 hours there each.
Yeah, and it varies per student, doesn't it? Some people seem to put in less, some perhaps even more, and it depends on the subject as well. Do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, with managerial background like I have, there's certainly certain modules that I picked up very, very quickly because it was what I've been doing for years. There's also the added aspect that, passing your assessments and even getting above average grades is really nice. But if you are truly committed, shall we say, and driven, then those extra hours that you put in every month could pay off to being A's and A pluses for your assignments. And I can tell you now that the people that I talk to, we've all done this. For certain assignments, we really wanted to deliver. I've had my fair share of A minuses, a couple of A's here and there, and that's because I worked hard for that. So it's all up to the individual, and this is how it all works. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Mike. That's really useful for us. I'll let you turn off your camera so you don't feel self-conscious. But I'm going to open the questions to anyone else who wants to ask now. And the easiest way to do it is that if you use the chat box. I find with a large group, it's just a more efficient way of doing it, if you like. So please type me a question there. And if there's anything I think Mike will be able to help with, I'll pass it over to him. Oh, I've got big news before I do. My glamorous assistant, Miss Arjit, has made the draw, and the scholarship winner for the $2,000 off the full MBA fee is Ananth Srinivasan. Well done, Ananth. We will be in touch. Right, back to the questions. Okay, here's the first one. I've completed an MBA from another university. Do you accept transfer of credits? Yes, we do. It's as long as the modules are equivalent and the credits are equivalent. So, for example, my module is organizational behavior. So if you've done organizational behavior at another university at the MBA level, then we'll be able to exempt those credits for that. We'll be able to exempt those modules. So the two key things there: can we map them to our MBA degree? And are the credits the same? And is the level the same? But the thing to do there is to make sure you send this information to us, and we can check directly with the university what you'll be eligible for. Can I tailor the MBA? I've got a question here. Not the general MBA. I think probably what you mean here is electives and specializations. With the Northampton MBA, it's a general MBA, so you follow the same pathway through. As I say, it's the sort of the traditional style of MBAs to do that. But as I mentioned as well, we do now have the MBA with SITS if you're particularly interested in procurement and supply. Will my degree mention online distance learning? No, that won't be mentioned. Because it's not online. We were actually being taught in the classroom. So the degree you get in the transcript will be just the same as those on campus. I have more than 12 years of managerial experience. Can I be exempted from any of the modules and be given credits because of my wealthy and strong industry background? That experience will be very useful to you on the program and writing the assignments on the program. but it won't actually exempt you from the modules themselves. You would still have to do it. Of course, that much managerial experience would certainly gain you entry to the program, but it wouldn't actually exempt you from modules. But as I say, it would be invaluable to you in actually writing assignments and actually doing well on the degree. A question about accreditation. Hang on, there's just a bit more to that question. Are there additional fees in order to gain the? This is a good question. Are there additional fees to gain the MBA accreditation? No, there's not. Exactly the same price, $18,990. Is the same. So you have the choice of either. What would the procedures be to register and apply for SIPs? For this one, all we ask is that you let us know at the application stage that that's the route that you would like to take. The application procedure is just the same as you would do for the General MBA. And yes, just going back, there's a question about accreditation. The program the university is accredited by the Quality Assurance Agency, which is the UK government's quality assurance body. So any UK university must be accredited by them, and the University of Northampton certainly is. So your degree will be recognised anywhere around the world. Another question, if I'm not in the procurement field, can I still apply for the MBA with SIPS accreditation? Yes, you certainly can. And as I mentioned before in the presentation, I think some people will be interested in this if they want to move into that field in the future, or indeed if they just want to move into that industry, work in an organisation in that field. Because again, I think that will, that will be a big plus for them to have that degree certificate. So no, you don't. You can still apply to actually do it. And then once you move into that field, after some experience, you'll be able to apply for chartered status. I think we must have done pretty well tonight. I think I must have answered almost all the questions in the presentation. There's not too many at all. I'll take that as a compliment. But of course, as I mentioned, I will send around my email slides, my presentation slides rather, so you can look over them. If any questions do come to you between tomorrow or between any other time that you want to contact me and ask for some clarification or something more, just send me an email. It's my email address there. So anything I haven't covered tonight or anything that comes to you, I'm more than happy to answer that. But for me, I'm going to say, hang on, wait, one more question. Hang on, there's a couple more. Let me quickly get this. I have almost 15 years of experience, but don't have any bachelor degree. That's okay. You'll be able to get onto the program on the experience route. You can get there with that amount of experience. Will SIPs appear on my final certificate or transcript? It will be on your transcript. Yes, and the other one is about the experience as well. You wouldn't be accepted on the program. Yes, you will. Okay, now I think I've covered that. So thanks very much to you all. As I say, just get in contact if you have any other questions for me. And Mike, thanks so much for your input. It was really excellent. Really appreciate it. And to everyone else, thanks for listening. And I hope I'm going to see you on the program very soon. Bye for now.